Hi, email marketers. It's Jessica Best, your resident email dweeb. I am the instructor for CXL's full-length email marketing course, but today I'm going to bring you a feed, just a little something to drop in your feed today, specifically deep diving into email marketing segmentation. We're going to learn which data actually drive relevance and, better yet, more response from our email marketing programs. So today we're going to talk about why segmentation is important, just in case you forgot, and then kind of the ways that we can use segmentation, like what goes into that or what data make a difference there, plus some things that I'm going to count as segmentation, and I'll talk more about that when we get there. First, why? Why would we only send to part of our list, right? If we have a list of 1 million people, why don't we send to 1 million people? First of all 1 million people probably don't want the same thing from you, your business, unless you only sell one thing. So this is going to increase relevance so that every time we send, each of the recipients knows we're only sending that to you because we think that is for you. An example that I love to use here is in e-commerce, for example. If you have 50,000 SKUs, men, women, children, holiday, you've got all these categories. Increasing that relevance means I know I'm only going to see the categories that I'm most likely to be interested in. So that leads to an increase in engagement, obviously, and not just because we're sending to fewer people. Literally over time, this means that the number of opens and clicks that each person on our list gives us as a company or as an email program goes up because they are more likely to engage in emails they think are going to be relevant to them. And of course, all of that leads to revenue. I wouldn't actually care very much about this. Those are nice, but all of that should lead to increase in revenue and increase in revenue per subscriber, especially. We're not wasting by sending to all these additional people. This campaign went to 2,000 people and half of them bought something. That's a little high, but you get the idea. We're trying to increase our ROI on this campaign by really dialing into who wants it. So let's dig into the ways that we can use segmentation or the different types of data that we have access to. First is just customer data, profile data, the data that they give you. Forrester loves to call this zero-party data, as opposed to like first party or third party. They're not surprised when you know their birthday. They gave it to you. They told you their birthday because you promised to send them a free cake or a discount or whatever it was. So this first party data is really powerful because it's some of the things that we think of when we think of segmentation at the 1.0 level. And last but not least, don't forget the importance of your sign up date or your subscribe date or your join date if you've got a paid membership, for example. All of that data lives innately in your email marketing platform. And it's so important to know because if I've been on your list for 12 months and I've never opened and clicked something, there's an action to take there. There's something to learn there. I really should stop sending as often to that unengaged subscriber because it may be not even the right email address for them. My favorite example of this, though, is for Planet Fitness. This is a very business to consumer example, I admit it, but they actually can get leads in about 5 different ways. Somebody can sign up on their website. They can come in and take a tour. They can just walk in the front door and take a tour. And they can come as a guest. They get a free day pass if they come as a guest of a current member. Now, if you've already had a free day pass, we're not going to offer you a free day pass, right? That new lead that signs up, new lead in our system, the next thing we're going to offer them is a tour. You came in and worked out with your friend, but did you get the golden tour? We're happy to give it to you. Or the flip-flop is also true, right? If somebody came in for a tour but didn't stay to work out and they aren't closing, they didn't join yet, we actually follow up with a pass to come in and work out for free. You can also add a third-party element to this customer profile data option for segmentation. And again, I go back to the Hallmark Baby example. You can see here that we have a couple of versions of emails where personalizing your onesie for, let's say this baby is, we know your child is about 1 year old and is a boy. You might ask how we know that. If you're not familiar with Hallmark, Hallmark, the parent company for Hallmark Baby, sells ornaments at Christmas like baby's first Christmas, and they're usually designated boy or girl. So we actually know, Hallmark knows, I do not. It's in their data, not my data. They actually have information on how old and how many kiddos they think that you have in your household. Plus, they can append data like demographics. You heard me talk about 55 plus, for example. Women 55 plus was actually one of the ways that we segmented our data because we found that those women were more engaged. We could send to them more often. You can also append psychographic data. I would argue that more useful to you is going to be things like behavioral data. And we can start with just email behaviors, for example, clicks. You should actually be personalizing your emails before someone clicks. So this isn't segmentation exactly, but varying the image in the top of this email. Sarah is looking at our Phoenix community. This is actually a picture in the top left of our Phoenix community, which looks very different than our New England community, right? Those homes look very different. And so we're customizing this email before we even start with segmentation. But we're also putting in that email sort of a map of all the reasons that somebody might want to buy a sustainable or a green built home. And I love this example. This is also a little bit of an older example, but it's so good to show off the functionality here. Meritage Homes is a green home builder, and we might assume that people want to build a green home to lower their environmental impact. But the truth is, Meritage has learned that there are people that buy a green home because those same tightly sealed windows just mean lower utility bills, less dusting, and fewer pests. So, depending on what somebody clicks on, that could arguably be their why, their reason to buy. So, in email two, we zoom all the way in on whatever they clicked on in email one. Now, this is handled through a company called Pardot. They're sending through Pardot, and Pardot has something called automation actions. So we're actually able to see if somebody clicks on this, just add that to their profile. We want to know that that's their reason to buy for all future emails. And of course, the next step up in behavioral data is purchase data. If you got it, use it.